What's up my Reapers, Reaperplanks Game 101 here, and welcome back to another episode of Reaperplanks Survives. In the previous episode, we built up pretty much this entire district, besides a few builds that were already there. And that episode has done phenomenally well, so I just want to say a massive thank you to every single one of you. I really expected that video not to do well with how many things went wrong, but I'm so glad that it did as well as it did. So what are we going to be working on in this episode? Well, I've done some work in between episodes getting the area where we're going to be working prepped, and if you couldn't tell, we're going to be working on some docks. Now, when I started building this area, I expected just to stop around here, but these boats were huge, so I had to build up 3 more ports for some boats. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, never mind, I lied, 5. I had to build up 5 more ports for these boats over here, and then there's also 1 more boat design I have that I wasn't able to fit in this area that will probably end up going maybe over here. Who knows? So to wrap up the rich district for good, because I said it was complete in the last episode, but I kind of lied because the docks weren't done. So to wrap up the rich district, we're going to build the docks, and we're also going to decorate this area and this area as well. And also, while constructing this and prepping the area, some skeleton horses spawned. I don't know why, but every time I build a kingdom somewhere, I seem to get skeleton horses. So I guess that's just a good sign of me building a kingdom. I don't know. Like, it's happened 3 times now. It's no coincidence. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna gather up the resources that we need to get started on this, and I will see you all in the time lapse. Okay, and just like that, we've got the docks all built out. Well, the base of them. Yeah, this is going to be a massive project, but I'm the one who decides to do this all the time to myself. It is what it is. So the thing that we're going to focus on next is building up the boats that go on each of these ports. There are 2 different types of boats, and there's 5 of each of them, and it's hell. So probably what I'll end up doing is building 1 of each variant on camera and then building the rest off camera, so you don't have to watch me build the same thing over and over and over and over again. I'll show the schematic for it. Yeah. They're pretty big. And then we got these ones over here, which aren't too big, but are still pretty detailed. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention it in the last episode, but these trees were not built by me. I'll try to have a link in the description to all the different tree designs that I've used, because I went to Planet Minecraft for the trees and then just kind of copied and pasted them in, because let's be honest, I'm not good at building trees. And same thing with these boats. I'll try to find where I've found them and leave it a link in the description. Of course, I have tweaked them a bit to fit my kingdom and my aesthetic, but I will try to leave a link in the description for all the designs if I can find them. I'm terrible at building vehicles and just boats and trees. I'm gonna get started on these, and I will see you guys in the time lapse yet again. So sadly, the file for the time-lapse of the bottom halves of the ships was corrupted, but I have fixed the problem. I just uninstalled OBS altogether and reinstalled it and got all my settings back. So all the problems that I was having with OBS are just gone. But yes, I've built up the ships. I built 1 on camera and then just sat in a Discord call with my homies and built up the rest of these, and it took forever, like it usually does. We've got the big ones here, we've got the smaller ones over here, and I just finished up doing a little bit of decorating over here, made this area look a lot nicer for this boat to get in and out. And we're also going to add add a lighthouse over here in the near future. Yeah, I think this is looking pretty cool already. Now I've just got to decorate the docks here and fill in this blank space as well. And then in the very near future, maybe next episode, we'll get started on the rest of the kingdom. That'll be fun. But yes, I'm going to hop into your creative world, mess around with decorating this area, and I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, a little bit of planning later and a little bit of building later, and we've got the rest of the docks built out, well, the base of them built out. I've got the walkways extended with some lighting and a place for a tree to go. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I got a little carried away and just started building. I forgot to record and realized about halfway through and was just like, I'm already halfway through, might as well finish it. So the prep work's done. Now the area I'm going to focus on is just over here. And yeah. And there we go. There's that little area behind the docks complete. And I've also added in our cherry tree that goes right here. Ouch. And I just have to say, it's a pretty cool view right here. You get the cherry tree, you get all the ships. I like this. But unfortunately, the view of all of the ships is going to be obscured by a few buildings coming in this direction. Wagons. There's going to be a wagon right there as well. And there's also going to be a bunch of shop stalls along the dock. And then over here, we're going to have some fish drying racks. And then on some of these port ends, we're going to add in some cranes. So right there, and right there. And also, I extended the cobblestone to the entirety of around the base of the docks, besides the walkways, because I thought that looked a lot better. Now I'm going to gather up the resources I need for the builds in this area, and I'll see you guys in the time lapse.
3 days later.
Alright, I'm a little bit mad, and that's because Replay Mod has crashed and deleted my footage yet again. So let me just take you through what I've built. Here it all is complete, and I'm still very disappointed that Replay Mod decided, actually, fuck you. Like, why? Why does it do that? It crashed because Minecraft crashed while trying to render the replay. And this has been a recurring issue, and I can't fix it until the next game drop, or update, whatever you want to call it. Because basically, if you haven't seen, sometimes whenever you're flying around for a while, even if you're going between chunks that you've loaded, you'll fill up the memory in Minecraft and have to quit the game entirely and then reload in to clear the memory, which I thought was just an issue with my processor. Turns out it's an issue with Minecraft. Yippee! That's good to know. Save myself a bit of money. But anyway, let's go through it now. So we've got ourselves a bunch of piles of barrels with chests on them and lanterns just to light this place up, because I didn't want to put those lamps everywhere because it would have looked a bit ugly, and this makes it feel more cluttered and alive. We got fish drying racks here and here. We've got some shopping stalls all the way down. We've got a crane there and a crane there, and then a crane at the very end over there. And we've even got a few of these carts that I built in the spawn area because I thought they looked really cool and would serve some purpose here. Just kind of parked in this area, you know, selling goods and whatnot, and this is basically where they're built and stored. Over here we have a warehouse for all the goods that are being imported and exported. I use looms and note blocks as extra crate blocks just because I thought they looked good. And then upstairs is pretty much the same. See? And then over here we have another warehouse and then a spot for somebody to sleep all the way up here. I didn't know what I wanted to do for this area, so I decided to challenge myself and make it the smallest sleeping space possible. And then up here we've got a place to look out at the kingdom, which isn't that spectacular, but I thought I'd add it anyway. We've also got another little cart just chilling and hanging out. Another warehouse section on the ship captain's inn. So basically, whenever the ship captains are home from the sea, they will have a place to rest, and that is this area right here. Also, I just want to quickly say that this is probably my favorite storage area, warehouse design. This is the I guess you would call this the captain lounge house. I have no idea what you would call it. We've got candles on the walls lighting this place up. Got some beds for the captains and some shelves. It's pretty much all the same. I didn't have much room to work with, so I tried to make it as compact as possible. And this is the dock master's house, where he will meet with the captains and coordinate ship paths and stuff like that. So I made it pretty grand in here. Made a nice little chill out zone for him and the crew just to chill out. Got a nice eating area right here with a bunch of bookshelves. Got the upstairs with some decoration, not that fancy. We've got ourselves a office for the dockmaster, and he will sit here and watch as the boats come in and come out and do his work here. And then over here is the bathroom, and then right here is just his room where he can sit down and write if he wants to. Got another cool view out there, his bed, and then a balcony right here. But yeah, that's everything I've done. I hate replay mods so much right now. But what we're going to do now, no, we're still not done, is build up a lighthouse somewhere over here, probably right on this edge over here. And then we are also going to probably build up in another episode, because this episode is taking forever to come out, and also I don't know where to put it, a place where the ships are being built, which might have to go somewhere else entirely, which is fine. Let's get to work, shall we? That, our dock build is done. For now. Like I said, I do want to add the ship repair yard somewhere. But here's the lighthouse. Here's how it turned out. It's looking fantastic, if you ask me. And that's not just because I'm the one who built it. So down here we've got a tiny dock with a small boat. This is the final boat design that I wasn't able to build over there. And in the top of the lighthouse, you'll notice that the lights are a little bit different than Fisherton's lights, and we'll get to that in just a second, and I'll explain why that is. But if we come up here, and if we come into the lighthouse, you can see all the different decorations inside. Get ourselves some carpets, some couches, small kitchen, small eating area, some bookshelves, and then a doorway into the actual lighthouse itself. And then if you come up here, you go to the second layer of the house with the beds for the lighthouse crew. That's pretty much all that's up here. You get a pretty fantastic view of the kingdom though. But if you go all the way to the top, there is yet again another small storage area right here, and then we've got ourselves a spot to maintain / fix the light of the lighthouse. And then if we come up here, this is the actual top. Now, why did I use copper bulbs instead of redstone lamps like I did with Fisherton? Well, because the Nidoria Kingdom is more technologically advanced than Fisherton is. So it only made sense to upgrade the lamps to copper bulbs, which was a pain to get this started, but it looks pretty good. So yeah, that is the lighthouse as well as the docks. And just one second, let me take you in through this real quick. Eventually this whole area right here is going to be deleted so these ships can pass through, but I love flying through this area now, being greeted by this horizon with all the ships parked in the docks, and then seeing everything load in beyond it, such as the castle, and it's coming together. It really is. But next time, hopefully, if I have the time, we will be focusing on starting up a new district, which is going to be the middle class area, which will extend probably all the way until the park here and wrap around like this, and then basically go towards the end of the docks. And then we'll have the poor area around here somewhere, and then we'll have the mining area right there, and then eventually I'll get to customizing the portal. And no, I'm not gonna move the portal any closer because I want the player to see the full kingdom as soon as they step out of the portal. Would it be more convenient to just have one in the castle? Yeah, but then I'd be very lazy and you'd never get to see the kingdom again. For my sake and your sake, we'll leave the portal out in the open so we can see the magnificent kingdom. And as some of you may have noticed, my levels have been changing throughout the entirety of this video, and that's because I've been doing this series called 1 XP level per subscriber, and right now we are on the cusp of 1,000 subscribers, which is absolutely insane. I just have to once again say thank you to each and every single one of you. You're more than just a number. You are a mosh pit of people. The more people that subscribe mean the more people I make content for, and the more I look forward to uploading, because I get to hang out with even more of you all. But yes, I've been having a lot of fun making these videos recently and getting them out to you all. I feel like I've put out some of my best videos recently, and I hope you all feel the same. But with that being said, we'll end this over where the docks are so we can actually see what we've done this episode. But with that being said, I just have to say thank you all very much for watching this video. If you did like the video, be sure to leave a like if you want to, subscribe to the channel if you're not already want to, and Reaperplanks 101. See you in the next video. Bye bye. Why are you still here?